Hello, and I hope that you're having a blessed day. I know it's been a number of months since I last put out my most recent video about being in my winter home in Boulder City, Nevada, which I still am, and the van has still been stored in a storage unit in Las Vegas. Therefore, I haven't done any travels. However, I've had a lot of time to do some soul searching and thinking, and have made a major decision regarding my future lifestyle. And that decision and the reasons for that decision is coming up next. First of all, I would like to thank you for watching my video either on Facebook or YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support, and especially if you are a subscriber. I have delayed producing this video for many months, as it has been an emotional decision that will dramatically impact my future lifestyle. As I introduce this video, please enjoy the images of yours truly and my Pleasure Way Lexor FL van that has been my companion this past year. In addition, there are some images of some family members, some friends, and some new friends that I met along the way. As I downloaded these pictures, I realized what wonderful adventures I had experienced my first year on the road, traveling 20,000 miles and visiting only 7 states. In addition, I have been blessed and quite fortunate to have the time and the freedom to get up each morning and plan a new course. However, living in a van full-time as a single man is not all about rainbows and puppy dogs. For those of you who might not know me personally or might be watching for the first time, my name is Robert Pumphrey, and I recently retired back in November of 2020 in Tallahassee, Florida. However, I had already purchased my 2019 Pleasure Way van back in May of 2020 from Click It RV in Spokane, Washington, and had it stored down in Las Vegas, Nevada for the winter. After I updated my home in Tallahassee and successfully sold it, I was now ready to start my adventures on the road in mid-March of 2021. Let me be clear. The decision that I have made is not about my van. My Pleasure Way Lexor FL van has been a joy to drive this past year and has been everything that I needed to have to travel with all the features and benefits to allow one to have a safe and a pleasing experience. As a mature single man, I have done a lot of thinking over the last several months. It is about thinking about yourself, your surroundings, and your relationships. Sometimes you need to get into the mentality that I am the owner of my world and I am the only person who can change it. The next portion of this video will provide you a number of key reasons why this decision was made. The reasons that I'm going to provide you are going to be random. Number one, I feel that I retired too early or too soon. Being a single man with no wife, no kids, and no grandchildren, a lot of retirees spend a lot of their time retired around their grandchildren, and I don't have those to enjoy. That being said, I've had a lot of free time. Certainly around the national parks were great when I was hiking and exploring, but as I was traveling, I had a lot of time, and I had no purpose, or I felt like I had no purpose. I had no structure. And I don't know what the percentage is of retirees that find once they do reach that big day that they find that they're bored and they've got a lot of free time on their hands that go back to work, either part-time or full-time, And I don't think that's crazy. There's probably a good percentage of retiree people that do that. But I do miss work. I would like to work part-time or full-time. Now I know being on the road and being in a van, there's a lot of people that work remotely because they have good high Wi-Fi and they have jobs that will allow them to do that. I didn't have that privilege. I didn't pursue it and could, but retiring too early and the need to have a purpose and wanting to work again was one of the reasons. Reason number 2, socially. Now, why would a single person that's traveling alone not realize that if you're going to be traveling alone, you're going to be lonely? I don't know. Maybe I should have figured that out before I did this. But that being said, most of the 7 states that I traveled in were blue states. And I'm not making this a political video, but in the blue states, when COVID is going on, they were making it very challenging that you had to keep your mask on regardless of where you were, outdoors or indoors, and anywhere you went. It's hard to meet people when you've got a mask on and people are keeping their distance. That's COVID. Now I know COVID as of spring of 2022 is getting better, but we're still in those grips and may be for the rest of our lives. We'll see. But if I was continue to travel full time and had wonderful experiences, what was I going to have at the end of 2, 3, or 4 years? There's a good chance I was still going to be single. Now, I'm not implying that I want to get married tomorrow, but I still have life to live. I'm a people's person, and I want to get around people again on a regular basis. And that goes back to having a structure and having a purpose. And that is getting to be around people on a regular basis. And that is hard to do when you're traveling in a van full time. Reason number 3. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last 3 to 6 months, boy, is the economy globally as well as the United States changed dramatically. I'm not going to get into all the reasons or why, but the facts, let's keep it simple. Last summer in 2021, I've got a 25-gallon tank of regular gas. I could fill that up for an average of about $65 for a tank full, other than California. Nowadays, if I was to fill up that same tank, we're looking at between $100 and $125 per tankful. And that's not to mention what inflation has done to the prices of food that everybody is feeling, the prices of your home, rent, but in my case, it would be RV spots. You know, now back in 2021, if I wanted to rent an RV space during the non-summer times, I could probably get one for $30 to $50 or an average of $40. We're probably going to be close to $50 now. And in the summer months, being closer to the national parks, for me to get an RV spot, we're probably looking at about $150 to $200 for an RV spot outside a national park spot. So everything's going up, but financially, being on a fixed income and trying to do this full time, it's tight. And that is reason number 3. My 4th reason for making this major decision is the fact that I'm not the only one in the United States that's in an RV. In fact, statistics have shown that there's over 11 million people that own an RV. 11 million. And you want to know how many RV spots there are across the 50 states of America? 4,500. And that includes United States government, state parks, national parks, and private parks. So if everybody's out RVing, especially during the summer, I have found out, June, July, and August, it is challenging to get an RV spot unless you plan ahead, months, and in some cases, years ahead. Alright, everybody step back, take a deep breath, and I know what you're thinking. You're watching this video, and maybe you've been watching many of my videos since spring and summer of last year, and you're saying, dang, Robert, I've seen you with a smile on your face, with all these wonderful places that you've gone, and being really excited and for the experience. That is true. This is not all about that. I think it's reason number 5 why I'm having this conversation and why I'm doing this video. If I told you today, with all the uncertainties of what's going on in the world and the United States, financially in particular, that if I had a particular dealer that was going to provide me 95 cents of the dollar of my original purchase price and only lose $4,000, only lose $4,000 of my original purchase price, would you take it? I think you would. And that's why we're having this conversation, is because I have found that dealer that's going to give me 95 cents on the dollar of my original purchase price, and I can't walk away from that. Number 5. In summarizing, this has not been a rushed decision on my part. As a matter of fact, I have spent 3 to 4 months praying on a daily basis, asking for the Lord to give me guidance and direction on what He has in store for me in this new word of Robert being retired, whether I want to continue to travel or if He's got another direction that He would like to take me. When I got the blessing, and I think it certainly was a blessing from the Lord, that I had a particular dealer that was going to buy back my van, buy back the van, it's a purchase agreement, to purchase it at a certain dollar amount that I've already discussed. I think that was direction in God from the Lord telling me, well, you've asked for guidance, you've asked for direction, well, now I'm giving it to you. Sell the van, and that is my major decision, that in the very near future I'm going to sell my van. Now, what is in store for me after that, it's unclear. However, there's a very good chance that I will be moving back home to Tallahassee, Florida, where I have friends, but many family members that are in that area. Certainly I'm going to miss the West, and I have friends in Bend, Oregon, and Salt Lake City as well, and family member in Salt Lake City. But whether that moving back to Florida is going to be something that I do immediately is probably unclear. But if you're still watching this video, first of all, I'd like to thank you for watching it. I am certainly open to any favorable and words of encouragement on Facebook and YouTube, because this hasn't been an easy decision for me. However, I think it's the right decision based on the blessing from the Lord. But I do look forward to your comments. Please hit the like button and have a blessed day.